The second stage of the Perfect World Shanghai Major starts in just a few days, so I'm going to break down everything so you know what to expect. In this video, we're going to go over the format and teams in the elimination stage. I've included a link in the description for a bracket making website to help you plan out your pickems, and I'll be posting another video in the next couple days where we go over the playoffs, so be sure to subscribe to be notified when that drops. Well, I'll quit stalling and let's break down the format. The elimination stage will play out the same way as the first round of the major, with the opening matches all being best of ones, then all elimination and qualification matches being best of threes. Teams must win 3 matches without losing 3 themselves, and there are 16 teams competing in this stage, but only 8 will advance to the playoffs, so competition here is tight. To break down the teams in the elimination stage, I'm going to do what I did in my previous videos and just separate them into 3 tiers: frontrunners, contenders, and long shots, and just give a few words on each. The frontrunner tier is the teams that should make it through to the playoffs, barring a complete collapse. There's going to be more teams in this tier than in my previous videos, as I think a lot of the top teams here are way better than everyone else. I have Na'Vi, Vitality, G2, Spirit, and Mouse here. These teams have some of the best players in the world, as well as the deepest strat books, and just far outclass the other teams. Spirit and Mouse have looked shaky at times, so I could see them getting upset here, but I just don't think that will happen. G2 is also an interesting case, as they are more reliant on their aim rather than their strats compared to the other teams, so if they don't look good right away, things could go real south real fast. Contenders are the teams that are going to be battling it out in the upper and lower brackets with a real shot at claiming one of the remaining playoff spots. Here I have the Mongols, Liquid, 3D Max, Pain, Furia, and FaZe. I know it may be an unpopular opinion to doubt FaZe and place them down here, but I have not been impressed with their performance these past couple of months. Rops and Brokey have seemingly fallen off and are now an active hindrance to the team. Luckily, FaZe still has Kerrigan and Rain, 2 great players who elevate their performance at the majors, so they're always contenders, and I do have them making the playoffs. I just wouldn't be shocked if they bombed out. As for the other teams here, they are all some of the best tier 2 or tier 1.5 teams in the world, and are all capable of upsetting the best teams in the world, so I can see any combination of them making the playoffs. The long shots. I'm not saying these teams can't make it to the playoffs, but it would take a miracle. In this tier, I have Big, Gamer Legion, MIBR, Heroic, and Wildcard. The teams here all have great stories, but I think their last chapter ends here. Out of all these, Heroic have the best shot at making the playoffs, but I'm not confident enough in them winning multiple best of 3s. As an NA stan, my heart bleeds for Stanislaw to carry Wildcard to the playoffs, but I'm sadly not delusional enough, like some of my friends, to believe it will actually happen. I'm actually fairly confident in my predictions for the elimination stage, which probably means they're terrible, but as for my 3-0s, I have Na'Vi and Vitality. My 3-1 and 3-2s are Spirit, G2, FaZe, Pain, Mouse, and the Mongols. And my 0-3s are Wildcard and MIBR. I think Pain and the Mongols are the best teams from their respective regions, and most deserve a spot in the playoffs. I'm not putting Liquid in the playoffs as their record against top teams remains unproven, and I can see Furia replacing Pain, but they've been pretty reliant on comebacks in the RMRs and opening stage, which I think will be much harder to pull off against stronger competition. Fallen is still a capable caller, but I think Big Uzera is the better IGL, which is why I'm going with Pain. But what do you think of my picks? Like I mentioned earlier, I'm including a link to a bracket maker down in the description, so make your own and compare it to mine. Also, be sure to subscribe so you can be notified when I release my video for the playoffs.